July 13th, 2026 City Council meeting minutes, July 27th, 2026 City Council budget meeting minutes, July 2026 bills paid, Keno receipts totaling $8,598.90, and JEO consulting invoices. We have a motion to approve.
So moved.
Second.
Richard,
Yes.
Lee,
Yes.
Hamilton,
Yes.
Peckman.
Yes. We had a nice bounce back in city sales tax. For those that might not have seen that, so good to see. Item number 3, OPPD update.
Hello.
Kayla?
I'm
Hi.
Michaela Valentine. I'm the Government Affairs and Community Relations Manager for Omaha Public Power District. I've got Brittany Clusall with me. She's your new account manager. So we wanted to talk to you a little bit about our integrated systems plan that we have coming up. We're asking the public for feedback. We're asking our public officials for feedback. We have a website that's called oppdcommunityconnect.com. And on that website, we have a posting about our integrated systems plan. And that is our plan that we put out every 5 years to allocate all of our resources. We do modeling and forecasting with our engineers to make sure that we're matching our capacity for the load that we're expecting in the next 5 years. So what we really want to do is we want to hear from our public officials. If you have anything coming up in your jurisdiction, even if it's like prospective potential business that's going to be over probably 5 megawatts, so like manufacturing, anything bigger like that, we would definitely want to know about it so that we can plan for it on our system. And we also want to invite the public to go out to our integrated systems planning webpage on oppdcommunityconnect.com and take a survey to see if they would like to give any input on our next 5-year plan, because it's an exciting time to be in the energy sector. We're always trying to stay ahead of the curve. There's a lot going on with people who want a lot of load in the Omaha metro area, so they want to locate here. So we just want to make sure that we're ready for it. And so I would just ask you to just take a minute out of your day and check out that webpage if you would, and give your feedback. You can, give Mindy your feedback if you want to call me. I'll work with Mindy to get it from you. But I also wanted to introduce Brittany here so she could tell you a little bit about herself.
Hey. Brittany Clusall. I've been with OPPD for about 2 years, and then I just recently took over the relationship account for your city from Debbie Lingle. You might have worked with her before in the past. She recently retired, but I have a lot of customer experience background and just want to make sure that whatever your needs are for the city, that we make sure that we get them done for you.
Do you have any examples of a business that meet or at that 5 megawatt?
Something like a large manufacturing or like somewhere around there. Not that it's going to be anywhere here, but like if you had an aquatics park, something like that. So if you had aquatics park, community center all together in one spot, like a YMCA, that might need it. Yeah, any kind of manufacturing. And then over that, at like higher numbers, way higher, it would be like data centers. I think we all probably knew that. But,
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. But again, even if it's prospective and you're, just talking about it, we'll still consider it. We'll work, if we need to under NDAs with our economic development team, just so that we're aware of it so that we can start planning for it.
All right.
All right. Thank you.
Thanks.
Good to see you guys.
All right. Consideration of an amendment to a conditional use permit for a business commercial flex facility in the C1 Highway Commercial Zoning District with lot address as 1602 and 12704 North 158th Street.
All right, so this is up in the McGregor Bray development. In the current lots 2 and 3, I believe, are their numbers. They will be doing an administrative plat to adjust one of the internal property lines. I've reviewed that, and then that will be executed upon action on this amendment to the conditional use permit. The main changes that they are requesting here is they're going to be, instead of everything under a single owner, there will be 2 separate owners. They are splitting one of the buildings. So there was one building that was shared a back wall. So back to back, they have now separated that, and that's what will be on that new property line. It's part of the administrative plat. So technically, they're going from 4 buildings to 5, but the total square foot area for the bays themselves and the total number of bays is not changing. So there's just a little more green space in between those 2 buildings. In addition, they have increased the available parking between the 2 lots to an aggregate of about 140 stalls. The initial application had 120 in there. And there's been a slight increase to the impervious surface, and that's just due to the additional parking stalls. So those are the main changes that are necessitating the amendment to the conditional use permit. I did receive this morning an update to the drainage study. I have not had an opportunity to go through that, but I will do that here sometime this week, just to verify that the change in impervious surface isn't going to make that drainage basin require changes to meet our stormwater runoff. From what I recall on the original, they had some extra capacity, so it shouldn't impact that, but we wanted that. And then there was a lot of discussion at the Planning Commission about 2 different things. The first was, in my comment letter, I had requested that the 2 parking lots be connected along that property line so that we could have flow through. That would likely necessitate some permanent easements, access easements for the cross traffic between the 2, just so that everything could flow together. The property owner requested, since there's 2 separate owners running very similar businesses, they didn't want that cross flow. They didn't necessarily want to have that easily shared parking between the 2 areas. And so they proposed to provide a hammerhead for the emergency vehicles that may need to access the site to give them a space to turn around. And they provided that updated site plan late last week, which I did review. The Planning Commission, as part of their motion to approve this amendment, was to address all the comments in my comment letter, except to allow that turnaround in lieu of connecting the parking lots together. So they did provide that, and it does meet the design standards for a hammerhead turnaround on emergency vehicles. The other item related to the lighting on the buildings impacting the property owner to the west. He was here and discussed some of the changes that he's noticed since the buildings have gone in. He's been working with Jeff McGregor on that. I know they've made some other changes. He was just here seeing if there was anything else that could be done, whether some of those lights could be put on dimmers later in the night, so maybe they're not at full strength or different things. In addition, this area, because it's in the highway corridor overlay and you've got commercial next to residential, there are some landscaping requirements that need to be fulfilled that aren't 100% in yet because not all the buildings are built. But upon completion of those buildings, they've provided an updated landscaping plan that addresses some of that. I've also asked them to show some of the other trees and things that go in that landscape buffer, especially along that west side on that plan as well, so we can make sure those get installed to help. The hard part is the property to the west sits so much lower than this. Even when we direct it downward like they're supposed to, it's actually aiming that at a little more. And they also have some of their own existing landscaping to help as well. It's just a big change for them.
Sure.
As I mentioned, the Planning Commission did motion to approve the amendment to the conditional use permit and address all engineers' comments, except for allowing the turnaround in lieu of the parking lot connections. Any questions for me at this time? The applicant and his engineer is here as well. Well, I'm here if anything comes in.
The second owner is just doing the same thing, renting out the bays, or is it going to be one business going in there, or what's the plan?
Yeah, Jeff McGregor, 11750 Stonegate Circle, Nebraska. So, but last time you guys saw me, we were here doing the original first phase of this project. Since we completed that, we were approached by Nick Jossa to purchase that project for us. We ended up selling that to him. He's running the Flex Bay project that sits there now. He'd like to add on to that project, and he sent an email to Julian allowing me to speak on his behalf.
Okay.
And then the remainder of that lot 3, we would retain ownership of, And so we could build the rest of that project out. It's competing businesses in that it's a similar product type of what we're leasing out to a customer.
Mhm.
We were concerned with the connectivity that, he might have a business that because it's connected, they start parking on our side or vice versa.
Sure.
And so eliminating the connectivity kind of might eliminate some parking squabbles.
Gotcha. Okay.
And as far as the lighting goes, the neighbor to the west did reach out to me, and we had those lights on the west end caps of the building. They were at 100% capacity. We did turn those down to 20%. He said that helped a lot. I think his concern was, I can still see them from my property, and I agree, see them, even though they shine downward, I can see a light, and there really isn't like a way that to like shroud them to still light the parking lot because of the elevation change that stops you from being able to see the actual light itself.
Yeah.
Even though it's not shining onto them, like you can see the light bulb. And then his other concern was that we had parking along the west side that we're adding some additional parking. And the concern was the headlights that pull up to the parking stalls that go east and west, basically,
Mhm.
that maybe headlights would start shining there. And so I believe Julie had requested some additional landscaping on that end, and we've added that, which form shrubs, and that's on that landscape plan that come up to block the headlights as they pull up to the parking stalls.
I'm sure this will probably come up during the meeting where we go over what the building looks like and all that stuff. Are they planning to use the same?
Yes, as
Style,
far as the
look.
finish of the building, exact same
Okay.
replication as what's already there.
Okay. Do you have any questions? Thank you, sir.
Thank
you. Open it up for public comment at this time. Public comment is closed. Do we have a motion to approve?
Second.
Lee,
Yes.
Heckme,
Yes.
Hamilton,
Yes.
Richford.
Yes.
Thanks. Item number 5, street closure and event application for Bennington Founder's Day.
Vacation 8058 Kilpatrick Parkway. I am here representing the Founders Day Committee for the Bennington Chamber of Commerce, requesting a street closure for an event on September 26th in conjunction with the farmers market and an event piece that will take place in the afternoon and into the evening about 8 p.m. We're asking to close the street south of Molly and kind of a little bit bigger of a space than I requested last year. And the reason for that is because we are attempting to do a Nebraska watch party, and without a game time, we are working on kind of a plan A, B, and C for where we might have to put different parts of the event. So that is a little bit larger, just in case we need a little bit of additional space with the farmers market. We have lots of different fun activities planned, including family events, a beer garden, live music, cornhole tournaments, dine holding, and then again, doing a barbecue contest as we've done in years past, and the watch party.
So is that volleyball or football?
Football. Michigan State, sorry, it's totally just
Or both?
worked out on that day. We should do both. We should absolutely do both. If there's a volleyball game on the same day, we'll do
I
both.
don't know.
Yeah, tentatively, yeah. And obviously, we're very mindful of the businesses that would be affected, so we don't want to block any of the entryways for patrons or employees. I walked the whole area with Kevin last year, and we kind of discussed where snow fencing would go up, where different facilities like the porta potties and other tables and chairs, and I plan hopefully you and I can do that again this year if approved.
Are you talking about blocking Stark Street also?
So our hope is to not have to block that. That's kind of part of my tentative plan because the farmers market has a lot of vendors, a lot more than they have had in the past. We are trying to kind of plan if we need to make some different arrangements in that area for either vendors from the farmer's market or the barbecue contest.
If you block Molly and Start, it'd be a nightmare. You get a lot of businesses that are still down in the storage units that work on that weekend.
Absolutely, and we are willing to be flexible with that. We don't want to obviously impede any of our local businesses from being able to do their daily operations. So if that needs to be edited, we can do that.
The only other complaint I got is those cornhole things when they go on. It's really nasty names. I have kids down.
Sure.
A lot of kids down. It's like,
Yeah.
really, you're calling that out on a loudspeaker?
We can absolutely make that, we can make that recommendation that we do some PG names. Absolutely, I
Team
appreciate
names.
Oh,
Team names.
They're bad.
I can take that feedback. I appreciate that. We can definitely offer maybe some more,
I had customers in my
family
shop down
friendly.
there, and they're like, what?
yeah. I appreciate that feedback.
I mean, what have we done before when it comes, so you're saying
This part that goes across Stark,
this
isn't
right
it?
now, this is showing that we would close Stark, but we wouldn't have to, like, we could leave that open and just, it's still closed that other part of South Second Street and just have people cross that, or is that the consideration?
Yeah, that's what, in the past, it's stopped right at Stark.
Correct. We've had, usually the barbecue contest kind of operates between just past, well, it would be kind of in front of Cup and Cone area and then down to Stark Street, and that's where the barbecue contest has ended.
Yeah.
Because there are so many farmers market vendors, they end up going a little bit further than they've gone in the past.
Yeah.
And so we were trying to be flexible and potentially use some of that space past Stark Street if needed. But really, it was kind of coming down to when the game happens, what time we have to set up certain.
Got a contingency.
Correct.
Wouldn't it make sense to shut down Stark since we have is the beer garden gonna be at the Legion Hall?
No, it's
Okay.
actually in front of Nate's, kind of in that area there. Yep.
There is volleyball at 8 p.m. that night.
Okay. The event's supposed to end at 8, but maybe we should extend it. We need a whole, can I make an amendment?
Or people will hurry and get home.
Maybe. Yeah, we'll figure it out.
Now, the farmer's market has been going up Second Street the last couple of times, correct?
Correct.
Have we heard from? Right.
Two Stark.
Have we heard if they're gonna be amending for that Saturday to go like their first one where it went all the way down the warehouse?
So they aren't planning to, it sounds like the attendance from vendors have been going down. So that's kind of another part of the contingency piece of this is if they have to get creative with that spacing, we can do that. With the majority of our evening events not starting until 2, we're hoping that by that time farmers market's all buttoned up and the beer garden can.
Usually they're out of there by 1.
Yeah.
So what are they planning on going to?
So their hope was to either get creative in front of the building right here with this space here. Also maybe using a tiny bit of warehouse if needed. But our hope is that we can just condense down a little
So
bit.
they're not planning to go all the way down to Stark like they have been? Okay.
We're hoping, fingers crossed. I realize that's not a lot of confirmed and I'm sorry.
I mean, Bennington Days, that was a huge one. And I imagine this one with good advertising could be just as huge. But yeah, it seems like there's been a little bit more space between vendors the last couple.
Yeah.
What do you guys want to do?
When we talk about businesses being disrupted, if Stark were to close down on a Saturday, 6 to 8 p.m., obviously auto shop is impacted. Have we had any other businesses complain
What?
about having one?
I haven't personally heard of any other complaints, but I'm only one person, so I don't know if any of the other committee members have heard of farmer's market.
Our friends at Dandelion Salon, they can still get access from the north, Ford and Fern can still have access from the south.
Yeah, Carrie Sass at Farmers Market really disrupts her. Sure.
Yeah, we wanted to be very mindful of her, because I did hear that when I had a phone call earlier this afternoon. Ooh, I'm sorry. Oh, yeah, okay.
What time would we be putting the fences up, the block up?
I think 2, if that sounds okay.
Yeah. Okay.
Then it would all come down about 8 o'clock is our plan to start cleaning up the area. We have some tables and chairs coming in that have been sponsored, so that would be the only thing that requires major cleanup.
On the drawing, it says stage, is that where you're also planning on doing the watch party? Is that that?
Actually, that's where we did a small setup for live music. So we have one guitar player that's gonna play music there, and that part will start about 6 o'clock. Again, depending on what time the game. I feel like so much of it is up in the air, you guys. I'm sorry about that. Yeah, I think you guys set it up last year. Yep. Mhm.
Okay. You guys are voting on it, but
Have
I'm.
we already approved the farmer's market?
Yeah. Yeah, we approved it. Yeah, and technically we approved them to go all the way down to Stark. So,
So the alley's not blocked.
no, between Stark and Molly, it's not. Yeah, that still stays the same. I'm fine with it. You know, from the 2 to 8, I would say extending beyond Stark is the exception.
Mhm.
If you guys can make it work without doing that,
Yeah.
obviously, that's the preferred
Well, if
method.
you're worried about pedestrians, I mean, you get a lot of people at the farmers market. Four-way kind of is.
Yeah.
No,
I don't know how to
yeah.
do signs.
I don't think pedestrians is an issue. I think it's space, right, is the reason why you wanted to extend it.
Exactly.
Pretty cool to have the football game at the end of that.
I know, we've like drawn this out so many different ways, and there's like I said, we kind of overshot the area a little bit so that we can kind of come up with plan A, B, and C, just in case we have a morning game or an afternoon game or what that looks like.
Same type of tent setup as last time too.
I think so. Were you here 2 years ago? We're trying to get that same tailgate truck is the hope, and they did set up their own tent. Mhm.
Yep, they were very quick too.
Yeah.
I appreciate that.
Good, that's good to hear.
Okay. Yeah, questions or concerns? Do we have a motion to approve? I was going to try and add in some stuff, but we'll just.
Sorry.
Do we have a motion to approve?
So moved.
Second.
Lee,
Yes.
Richford, Hamilton,
Yes.
Peckney.
Yes.
I would say major changes.
Yeah, I'm down for, I can communicate directly with you or anyone who would like to receive
I
communication.
think Lane would like the communication.
Absolutely, absolutely,
Since
yeah.
he's not here.
Do we have an idea when they're gonna announce the schedule?
So I was told 2 weeks before, I'm hoping sooner, because like I said, it's kind of just, it's really hard to try to plan an event that kind of around one specific thing. Thank you guys so much for your time. I appreciate you all.
Thanks. Item 6, 2026 sanitary sewer CIPP improvements.
Okay, this is the change order that we talked a little bit about last month. It trues up all of the quantities on the sanitary sewer lining portion of the project for what was actually installed and some changes that were made. And then it also adds the 24-inch pipe that we talked about last month that had the crack in the top at 182 feet. We did not do the last 10 feet, which is a different segment of the pipe because there's no damage to it. So we just did the 182 where we saw the crack. This is a net deduct to the total contract amount of $13,585.55. At this time, we didn't have a request for an extension on the contract completion date of September 18th because they're still trying to figure out when the material will be here. Once we get that date, we may be reaching out to you next month if they can't complete it by that date because there's a delay in obtaining the material for the 24-inch pipe. But hopefully they can get it in and get it done on schedule so then we can still pay for all of this out of this budget here. And there's no payout this month because they haven't done any work since the last time we paid.
And with this change order, we're still under budget.
Correct. I think we originally budgeted about $300,000 for this project in total, so the bid was under initially, and we're deducting another $13,585 and change off of it. So yeah, so we're well under budget for this. And you're actually getting more length of pipe done as well.
Good. Do a motion to approve?
So moved.
Second.
Richard,
Yes.
Hackney,
Yes.
Lee,
Yes.
Hamilton.
Yes.
Bennington Road Bridge Repair. The applications.
Yep, so this is pay application number 2 for work completed through the end of last week, maybe midweek, Wednesday. As you all probably noticed, the bridge did open up on Friday afternoon, so the majority of the work has been completed. There might be a few small cleanup things such as seating, or I know they still have to pick up their signs. I saw that when I came in today. But it pays out all the work that has been completed. We're still holding that 5% retainage, as well as there's a couple items. It looks like the seating and some of the stuff that had not been done. That should still all be wrapped up yet this week. So then I would anticipate next month we would have the final payout on this project. We did a change order, if you recall, last month that trued up a lot of the quantities that had changed. So I don't necessarily anticipate another change order. But I did not get that straight out. Wasn't able to talk to Andrew to verify that. And Lane's not here to answer the question or try to repeat us. But I don't anticipate any substantial changes. Still, the concrete stuff has been checked already. So recommend approval of this. Yeah.
I haven't noticed, or I haven't really looked. And Derek, you might be able to help out on this too, but have we noticed anything where they've been parking their equipment in that crushed rock area that needs any to repairs
What
or-
disturbance over there was we following up.
Derek made this.
Sounds good.
So we had a really, really muddy day over there. And we treated up there the back trail section. And
Okay.
so that over there, they did a good job.
Okay. Yeah, I just want to make sure don't have any other situations like Timor.
Yeah,
where we
no,
gotta-
no, it actually probably looks, if anything, it looks better because they took out the guardrail and then placed all the stuff underneath there.
Gotcha.
So I appreciate that.
I think there's a little extra dirt.
Yeah, might need to pull some of it, but it's.
Did any of the work that they do, does it solve the puddle? When we have a heavy rain, the puddle that
Wayne and I were talking about
accumulates
this last week.
Where does it accumulate?
on this end of the bridge, as you're going, like as you're walking on the walking section?
Oh, it's on the walking trail. Yeah, we didn't pull that section as trail. Okay.
We were talking maybe about doing this spin in there, kind of direct it back towards.
And I think I remember when we were building that, we were on the struggle bus getting it to drain
Yeah, it does.
back then, and so, yeah, probably one of the things we could look at with the federal aid trail project the underpass, we could look to see if there's a quick fix, maybe have that added in. The city has to be 100%, but at least you get a contractor on site. Or depending on how some other, we've got a number of other projects going on next summer. We could look at some other options as well.
We got the teal geotech invoice.
Yeah, those were tests that were completed for the projects.
Okay.
That was on the other side of the paper. I hadn't flipped it over yet.
Okay. We have a motion to approve the Emmy Collins pay application number 2 and the teal geotech invoice.
So,
Second.
Steckney,
yes.
Lee,
Yes.
Richard,
Yes.
Hamilton,
Yes.
Newmeyer Farm, phase 2.
We are currently out to bid on that project. We have a lot of pine holders. I think there's at least 10 now when I looked this morning. I meant to send that to Lane and Mindy, so they have that list. We did have a pre-bid meeting last 4th, is that Tuesday? Whatever day, it was kind of sprinkly and rainy. Where we met the contractors on site to do a general go over of the project and then answer any questions they had. We had about 6 or 7 contractors on site for that. They did have a few questions. And we will be issuing an addenda here in the next few days to address some of those questions along with a few other questions that came in, as well as just issue the notes from the pre-bid meeting to all the bidders. So it looks like we're having quite a bit of interest in this project. We will open bids on the 15th, so a week from tomorrow. And then once I get that, we will determine, depending on pending their start date, we might ask that this item for the award of it be placed on your August 31st budget agenda. If we need to move a little quickly because they can start earlier, we can wait till the regular September meeting. But we're still anticipating at least some of the grading and that type of work getting started this fall, so that we can maybe even be playing on it next fall. The difference from this one is we are going to sod the fields with the irrigation, so those should take a lot faster than the seeding did with the original project. So those fields should be playable sooner than they were originally. That's the update I've got on that. Any questions at this point?
I have a question. When the bridge is under repair and just driving through there, I know we were looking at like on-street parking and whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
Will we have to tear out the existing trail to do that?
No, with the areas
does
that
that
were
work?
doing the on-street trail, when they built the trail, we had them push it back. So we will have to remove the curb, and then the curb will likely go almost right up against that existing trail.
Okay.
We may, there might even be a foot gap, so we may end up doing like a foot of stamped concrete in between, because you're never gonna get grass to grow in less than 4 feet. And then that was also, the trees should have been coordinated to avoid where we were going to be off. The other thing Lane and I talked about when we had the pre-bid meeting is we may want to look and visit about, does it make sense to put up some no parking signs in different areas on Kempton Creek Drive, so that when you have your big soccer games or big tournaments, we don't have cars parked on both sides choking that down for emergency vehicles and making it harder for them to get through. Maybe allowing parking on one side or the other, but I don't know that we knew if we wanted one side or the other yet. But that's just something that we'll be looking at and thinking about once we really get these fields up and going. Because we won't have the full 100% parking built yet, just because we haven't had it.
Right. Okay. Cool. 1 in 6 year street plan review.
So this, all of you remember, this is our annual, one of your to-dos that you get to do, just like last month, I think we had the certification form that you need to complete in order to continue to receive your highway allocation funding. This also helps, we do it during the budget time and budget season to help you budget for the projects on your 1-year plan. This outlines the completed projects, which in the last year, We completed the annual street patching as well as the removal and replacement of the bridge approach sections. Those two projects are listed. And then what we are currently showing on the one-year plan is the overlay project that we are currently working on design, and we anticipate overlaying some or all of those streets on the list, as well as we have left the Papio Creek Trail Extension project on there because it's a federally funded project that you won't be building it yet, but you will be doing engineering. So we left that on the one-year plan. So those are the two projects we anticipate having on there. We did not list the annual patching this time because I don't know. One, we've done a good job of patching, and since we're doing an overlay project, we thought we might want to take those funds if there weren't other areas. But patching is considered maintenance, so it doesn't have to be shown on here. We just like to do that for tracking purposes. And then the final sheet before the map is your 6-year plan. So these are the other projects that we are looking to move forward at some point in the future. Some of them we've been talking about for a long time, such as the improvements to Bennington Road on both east and west sides, as well as some of those streets within Bennington Park area that have been on the list for quite a while. And we did add the Doug Nelson Park entrance road to this 6-year plan, since we're going to be doing some design and looking at the potential for paving that in the future. We went ahead and added that to the list as well. And then the back page, as always, it's just the map showing the location of all the projects and color coded for the roadway classifications, whether they're materials or collectors, and then 1-year plan projects are shown in orange, and 6-year plan projects are shown in blue. I know we've talked about these, especially with Lane and the group, multiple times, but do you guys as a group have any questions or concerns?
So this is just a draft, you're seeking their input, and then you'll bring it back next month for a public hearing.
Correct. We will have to have a public hearing on this next month as part of the overall process, so that way the public has a chance to weigh in on the thoughts of the plan, whether they like a project, whether they want a project to move forward. So yeah, we always like to review it the month before just in case, because it's easier for me to make changes now. We can still make changes at the public hearing. It just has to be part of your motion to approve it.
This is just a plan, we can add things, we can delete things as we go on, and don't have to do them in order or anything like that.
Nope, and as I noted, the trail plan is on your 1-year plan. It doesn't mean it'll get done in that 1 year. It's just how you're planning and budgeting for some of those projects. And yeah, and the 6-year plan is not a list of priorities. It's probably a list of when they went on the plan. As things move off, they slide up, and we have to do this too. There's no questions, and if you think of something after the fact, just reach out. We can always take a look at it and discuss it next month at the public hearing. Thank you.
Thanks. All right. Resolution number 2026-09, approval of the governing body to the mayor to authorize and sign the annual certification of program compliance to Nebraska Board of Public Roads.
We do this every year. It's just a certificate that goes on file with the state of Nebraska that says we're doing what we're supposed to be doing.
So you get your money.
Yes.
See all your names on there. We have a motion to approve.
So moved.
Second.
Richard,
Yes.
Beckney,
Yes.
Hamilton,
Yes.
Lee.
And resolution 2026-10, recreational trails and parks grant for Heritage Trail.
So the main elements of this resolution are to give mayor authority to sign for a grant application, as well as giving approval for match funds. So this will be, know that there was an application made for the RTP back in 2024. We would like to apply for that again. We do August 21st. And there should be a map and a budget that put up there. So the map, if you're looking at the map, yellow portion of that map indicates the trail that we'd like to apply for. That would go from the south side of the 156th Bridge on down to basically right past the fire department. And that'll connect into the Heritage subdivision. And so that will allow kids, adults, many different users to go north, and they can keep going on 156, or they can break off on Kingston Creek Drive and utilize the upcoming Papio Creek Trail. Ultimately, we will ask for $250,000. That's the max. The budget is right now set for $329,000. The notice of award would come back in 2027. April through September of 2027, there will be design and environmental review. And then from March to November 2028, construction would take place. I've talked to Mike Velasic about the potential of doing this, and he's willing to grant us easement for this trail along this property. As far as funding,
Just him and the fire station, that's it? Right, that's, so he's the sole owner.
right. So I've talked to a couple different groups. One of them was the SID and HOA for Heritage. They're not going to be able to help us out with funding, but we will also apply in March for the NRD grant. That and what they basically do is they'll help with half of the match. At this point in time, it'd be $79,000. So if we can get that grant, it would help out. I still need to have a conversation with Chief Mallory. They may be willing to help us out. And then I also talked with MAPPA, Fort Barber, and he's going to write a letter of support. And he's also going to send this information to Douglas County, because the county right now is looking at putting in more trails and get excited about these types of things. So any questions about that?
Be a nice safe place for them to ride their electric motorcycles on.
Yes.
Yeah, you could do 40 on this, right?
Yeah, it's the speed, a big one down this thing.
They've actually, if you look over, they've actually made a trail already.
Yeah.
Their own trail.
Yeah, there is a trail, yeah.
Yeah, next properties. So this would be ADA compliant. Non-motorized.
Any questions on that? Good news is, you know, if we do get awarded it, we approve it and do get awarded the grant, we have till 2028. Come up with our share of it, even if we don't get the additional NRD or whatever, so. It's been asked for quite a while. We have a motion to approve.
So,
Second.
Lee,
yes.
Techney,
Yes.
Richard,
Yes.
Hamilton.
Yes.
26-27 budget review. Anything stick out to you wanted to go over further since you weren't here last time?
How are you feeling? I know that it's always hard to tell because we don't have all the numbers at this time. But how did you feel the balance was the best you could tell compared to the recent years?
I feel like we don't really have a feel for a balance. Right now, we've just put all of our wish lists in front of the council. and they've gone into the budget. And on the 20th of August, the valuation comes in, which is a big,
Fine. Correct.
on the 20th, that comes in. And then once that's in, that goes to Tim. The budgets will go to Tim after today. And, that's when the magic starts. And he'll come back on the 31st, our special meeting on the 31st of August, and tell us how crazy we are or how well we did.
I would say just by, and it is strictly on a feel basis. It feels pretty similar to last year. Revenues were, I would say, slightly down, but we also came in under budget on a lot of items. And so far this year, we've been pretty okay on budget. A lot of projects coming in under as well, so.
Were there any, refresh my memory, were there any big ticket items that we pulled back on a little bit?
For this year.
Yeah.
Cindy?
I can't hear you.
I want to refresh my memory from the last meeting. Was there any big ticket items that we kind of pulled back anything from?
For next year?
Yeah.
Okay, gotcha.
Not really.
Yeah.
I think the main thing that we're working on is the Meyer phase 2, and then police building, cars, and potentially library renovations. What are the main things?
So no. Yeah, I think we kind of run into this awkward silence part every year around this time because we just don't know what the numbers are yet. Usually, I think anyway, yeah, the 31st meeting is usually the best time and place to scale back on things if we need to.
One of the things, I'll break the silence. One of the things we did want to talk about is we want to get 2 new police cruisers. And for one of those cruisers, we were going to use Keno funds. And Rue found a cruiser that's in Iowa right now, I think at 52,000, and it has most of the equipment we need. And so I talked with Tim, and there's certain elements around going above a certain budget. So our Keno budget, what we spend is a little high.
Yeah, over by 20.
Over by 20. And so he was saying if we want to try to get that vehicle before next budget cycle, we would need to do a budget amendment, send that into the state, and we can go ahead and then go after that cruiser. So just wanted to see how you guys felt about that.
And as a refresher, we were budgeting 180 for 2 cruisers the next budget cycle, and I proposed using half of that, so 90 for one of them. So if we are able to get this one for 52, we're well under that mark for one of them. And it already comes with lights and cage and all. Is that correct? Okay.
The reason why it's cheap is 2020 is brand new still versus 2025.
The 4 miles.
Yeah, that's 4 miles on. It comes with a full cage in the back, center console, lights, radar. You put a radio, dash cam, graphics.
Why they got this?
What's that?
Why they got
What's wrong with it?
Probably because it's 2025.
But it wasn't in the hands or ownership of another police department. Right? It's all just from the dealership.
Oh, okay. I thought we were buying it from the third party.
That's what I did too.
Okay, that makes sense.
The car dealership.
Okay. They're probably taking a hit on that. Yeah.
And Keno funds that we currently have is in 300s. So it's still pretty pretty healthy count as of right now, even though we're this budget year, you said we're over 20. So. And next,
Most of the over by 20 was we were initially planning to replace the sign this coming year. We did it last year. The city sign that
okay,
fell apart.
right, that's right.
It held in there as long as it could.
That's right. Yep. Thank you. What are we budgeting for next year for coming from Keno? Did we have
Well, we budgeted
besides the
90 for,
besides
and
that?
then
Days, lights.
Oh yeah.
we were budgeting for replacing the lights in here and the windows.
The window.
I like some blue and some with orange.
Yeah.
It's
Like the
nice.
color, yeah.
Just use what we have on hand.
So we have budget expenses for next year at 120. That's with 90 coming from the cruiser. So if we did the 52 now, that takes budget expenses from Keno 120 to 30, which would what they have budgeted for the office expenses. And then that would leave the police department 90 for their second cruiser, which if you find another deal like that, come under budget, that'd be great. But
What is truck you're looking at?
It's a 2025 Explorer.
Oh, okay. So the second one, are you looking at Durango or the Chevy?
Whichever one we get.
I know there's big price difference.
A brand new Explorer. I think it was priced at 55,000. This one, 2025, and now it has 15,000. So.
So by show of hands, if you would be okay with amending this year's budget to pay for that cruiser, raise your hand. Okay. Thanks, Chief. Okay. So that would be something we would approve next meeting, I presume. Has any of us ever done that? Amended the budget?
Yes, we have.
Okay.
Yes, we have.
Does he have to wait till the next meeting to buy it? I mean, you got it.
That's a great question.
It could be gone.
Do we have to
We
wait
want
to
to
the?
jump on it.
I don't
think so.
The amendment to the budget will come at the end of the budget year.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because Tim will want to make sure that, you know, we have to come up with some percentage, I don't know, some magic calculation that if our budget is off, so whatever percentage, then we have to refile it. And we're not done, you know, we may come in and it may be fine.
When the action happens, then.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
And that may happen. February, whatever.
Okay. Green light. Okay. All right. Any other thoughts on this?
Let's go back to the awkward silence.
Sorry. Otherwise, wait till the 31st. Once. Twice. Library report.
Unless you have any questions, I just have a few things to add. The library board did make a decision on a firm that they would like to hire for the first phase of our expansion, which would be a master plan that would help us figure out what we want to do, how to best use the space, and estimated costs and what we need to do to, how much that will be, and any drawings and floor plans and things that we could use for funding purposes. And so Friends of the Library are meeting on the 24th to approve those funds, and they will, I think they're planning to fund that first phase, that first part of the expense. They did decide to go with JEO, and the cost is 35,000. So that's the main news. We're looking forward to getting that process started. Otherwise, if anybody had any questions, we just ended a great summer reading record numbers for people participating in our reading challenge, and I don't know, I added something on that on the very last item on page 2. Just wanted to ask the mayor and city council to keep in mind the library expansion and the possibility of maybe a sinking fund to put money away for the project.
Okay.
Something like that.
Bathroom, next bathroom?
Yeah, so, yeah, that was thanks to Lane helped us out, but we were shot back, and we have that, so it's like well, actually, the repair cost is a little less. We had to basically replace the flush. They're having a sensor, just a single flush thing, and so we're just gonna have to flush it every once in a while so we don't have that smell. But the reason why they have to do the sensor for men's urinals is because of that. So, but that's one more thing that can go bad and go out. So we went with something a little bit more simple and cheaper for a replacement. Now we're having issues with our bottle filler on our drinking fountain. So that's been going crazy this week. I had some more water on the carpet moving in. So,
Technology.
yeah. So I had Lane turn the water off today, so that's out of order. But I've been told that Derek may know how to fix it. Because he's put a new sensor in there before. So hopefully, thanks to our public works department, we can get that resolved. So otherwise, yeah, maintenance issues are a lot of fun.
Okay. Thank you. Police report.
Any questions?
Left out your high-speed chase.
I did. Got in pursuit with a 14-year-old on a e-moto bike for 30 minutes on Tuesday or Thursday. Yes. Driving through yards, through football field, baseball field, behind my houses. So my Life 360 video is very hilarious. So we seized it and he was cited. That's good for it.
What did Douglas County decide? They're gonna destroy it or return it?
I won't know until probably his first initial appearance in court.
Is that a situation where the kid gets, and then do the parents also get fined, or is there anything?
The parents could, this situation, the kid was lying and took it without parents' permission. Dad wasn't home. But the initial reason why I stopped it, he was doing 55 miles an hour going down 186th Street. He was with another kid. But we didn't find another kid. He wanted to tell us who it was.
What's different subject? What's our status with the license plate readers?
We had one by the middle school was cut down and shot at, and then the one by Cubby's was cut down and ran over and dumped into a ditch.
But again, there's absolutely nothing unethical. There's no rights being violated. A lot of the stuff people are hearing or voicing on social media is 100% false. There's no cell phones being tracked. It literally just takes a picture of a license. Can't get anyone's information from the license plate. Doesn't give anyone's personal information.
And
I don't know.
remind me, we exchanged some emails about this, but we have an agreement directly with the company Flock.
It is Flock-owned equipment.
And so we have a contract with them, with that company, or how does the agreement work?
I don't think we have an agreement signed out. We're just demoing it right now.
Oh,
Yeah, I think it's like a $3,000.
It's 3,000 per camera, yeah. Like we have 4 actual license plate readers and we have one a live fed camera. It's at 160 range room. But in order to look at it, you have to have a reason to log it.
So are we, and by law, we have to file reports on those usage. So even in this demo phase, we're collecting data and filing reports. Or, I mean, we will file an annual report, is that right?
It's a state law.
It's audited.
I recall it. Safety keeping, you gotta store it for so long. So we're following state law.
Yeah, meters. Unfortunately, with social media, you go on Facebook, they say, 57 officers have been fired for searching their ex-wives. There's only been like 3. They deserve to get fired. It's no different than what we use for the sieges. We have to have a reason to run people's backgrounds and stuff like that. There's no difference. All it is a picture of a license plate. In order for us to get information about that license plate, we have to go into sieges to actually run the license plate and figure out who it belongs to.
Can you get Jamie to do a Facebook post on it, something like.
So you even have to get permission or access to get the information.
We go in, we can do a perimeter that say, when that ATM was stolen, I think. We would have had a license plate reader, I could have told you exactly the vehicle, who owned it, within a matter of a minute. But again, you still have to use 2 different systems. You have to use Flock, put in a time and date, a location. You run all license plates during that time, which for that was like 6 o'clock in the morning. And there's not that many people on it, like 6 or 4th Street at 6 o'clock in the morning. So you'd have like 3 or 4 plates. You run those plates, you match whatever description you have, and then we can figure out who this procedure is.
Do we have any sort of standard operating procedure right now for governing of that usage?
We're just in demoing phase right now. That's not going to be any different than procedures. So like in order to even get into it to run a plate, you have to have a reason in a case. You can't just go in there and search license plates for absolutely no reason. So it's pretty strict, lots of guidelines.
Basically, the cameras are damaged.
That's why it's your equipment.
Okay, so the ones that are damaged, how long does it take to get new ones? First ones?
The first one that was stolen happened on the 4th of July at 10:55 p.m. And we still don't have it there. Last one that was shot out at middle school 2 weeks ago. So probably another month left.
It took long to get original.
It took almost a year, the entire process. So it's just sad that people are just not informed and they just want to spread.
Doesn't the camera pick them up?
What's that?
Doesn't the camera pick them up and cut them down and shoot them?
Back to from behind. But they think that they track your cell phone, so some people leave their sticks. Ridiculous. The rivers and stuff are about them.
All of ours are pointed at public roadways.
Correct.
Not parks or anything like that.
Absolutely not. Even if it's facing a park, unless you're out there with a license plate running, it's not going to do anything. I literally just zooms in on the plate, takes a picture of the plate.
Okay.
Thank you.
Chief. Public Works.
Going in for Lane here. Any questions on that report? I can elaborate a little bit on the Ducks Lock side of that.
Yep.
That was a lot of fun. They showed up quite late Thursday after smoothing. They were telling us they were going to be here on Monday. Kind of got half the work done. Did get a lot of the other work done. Was going with Kevin and kind of some back and forth with their project manager who was here on site. They admitted some fault. They're coming back hopefully to fix it in the next week, tentatively on weather.
Because I drove down it and it destroyed my truck.
Wait, where at?
I'm at
On Vermont or down at Doug Nelson?
Doug Nelson.
Down at Doug Nelson?
Yeah.
So it still hasn't fully set
Gotcha.
right now.
That's right.
And then we had some rain. Now that stuff over there, the Doug Nelson's gonna look fantastic. They did a great job over there of their oil application. The areas that we're concerned with is that Vermont, they didn't get edge to edge. And then they didn't even do our alleys. And the alleys were kind of the most important thing, in part of my eyes, that we were asking for. That being said, they're looking to rectify that. And, that's right. Other than that, on the topic of all trails, I know we're gonna need more than motorized, so we need to decide if we want to say no motorized on trails before we order those. But beyond that, not a whole lot exciting. We've just been cleaning a lot of the parks up, and water feature over there is running right now. It's still very suboptimal. If anybody would like to foster a koi fish for a week so I can put some chemicals in it, that would be great.
I didn't know we had a fish on that thing.
We do.
Okay.
His name is Gilbert.
Gilbert.
But yeah, and then also on the topic of in here, that light's held up for you today. I believe we are about out of these lights in here. And so as far as we've never repurchased lights since I've been here, that's why they're all mismatched, but just using what we have on hand. That's about all I got.
I was gonna tell you. Dumpster, or the trash cans downtown.
Yeah.
You only pick them up once a week.
Once a week, yeah.
They're full long before that and blowing all over the place.
The other consideration and something we've been talking about is just kind of that isn't performing up to par like a lot of our other public areas. Maybe not even having those up there anymore or going with the service of some sort. We're still kind of trying to figure out how that's going to work. Because right now it's almost to the point of we're emptying the trash for 2 private businesses up there. And it seems.
If they use it.
Yeah, if they use them. So. All I have though.
Thank you.
Office reports.
Okay, I just have a couple of things. I want to mention it this month because in October, Columbus Day falls on the second Monday. And last year, we bumped our Monday meeting to
Indigenous
Tuesday.
People Day.
Pardon me?
Indigenous People Day.
Well, yes. Or in other words, which would be Tuesday, October 13th. We don't have to worry about it in November, which we usually have, which we did last year, but it's just the 1 month. So check your calendars. I'd like to confirm that at our September meeting, that we could do that on Tuesday, that October 13th, or whatever other suggestions might come. We went out and got 3 bids for windows. Renewal by Anderson was embarrassingly high, so we're not using them. We had 2 other companies come in. Bristol, Tina and I were here for Bristol, and their bid is very informative, and it's double pane windows, and they are at $19,000. The other bid that came in was Casey Nelson. Kevin was here for that, and that comes in at 11,000. I don't know.
That's just for windows.
Just windows.
Okay.
Yeah. So if any of you have a thought, or if you've heard or could make a recommendation on Bristol or KC,
Are they quoting the same style or quality of window?
Casey was very uninformative. This Mindy's concern was.
Just quoting this bare bones.
yes, it was, but it was $11,000. I mean, it's the cheapest of the three. The other one was $19,000. But it's, it's got everything listed and six.
The door,
Six.
the window and the doors.
No,
Not included.
no,
There's one in Kevin's office.
Yeah.
too.
right. So I just wanted to say that if you had any thoughts or feedback. That's all I got.
I have, I don't know if you guys remember Bennington Pathways. It was a project that was done in 2025. But UNL graduate Jesse Ford called me. 2005? 2005, yeah. He called me today, and basically he was a student that helped on that project. He is now teaching that class.
Awesome.
And he was wondering if they could do the same project with Bennington again. It won't cost us anything. They would just ask for us to provide an advisory committee of 3 to 5 individuals that we can coordinate with. The document that they're planning on helping with, Bennington Pathways, represents a vision and strategy for claiming an identity as Omaha grows and as we grow. So Bennington Pathways 2.0, a renewed vision and action plan for the next 20 years.
That was a fabulous experience.
It was here when I got here in 06 or 07, whatever that was. And what it had on there was it wanted a senior center so that your seniors weren't going to Blair or Fremont. They got that done. They wanted to get rid of the stuff downtown with the broken in, fallen in walls. Do you remember that? Right?
It's bad.
And put in those railings, that got done. They wanted a bridge across the creek so that kids could walk to school. That got done.
Every item on that list, farmer's market, the badger painted on the water
playgrounds.
tower.
It was very successful.
And they had a lot of public feedback. They had a lot of opportunities for the public to participate. And, it's all UNO students that are not UNL students, and they just mash all that information together and they whip out this little booklet that tells you how to do it. And it was cool. And they were so excited. That's what it is. It was. The kids were excited to do it, to grow Bennington.
It proved successful.
Still on our website to this day.
Yes.
So he, I guess they're gonna be starting soon. So we're just hoping I can give a call back with some of the input I get tonight. Sometime this week, so.
Sounds cool. I'm sure, is there a lot of information on the website or is it just
It's an entire pamphlet,
It's a big
all of it's on there.
Okay.
Yeah.
Big
Check
document.
it out.
We have a hard copy in the library's collection too.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, but in our catalog.
Yeah.
All right.
I would say if any of you are interested in being on the committee, reach out to
See
Kevin. Yeah.
Definitely not interested in being on the committee, but interested in.
Project tracker.
Here, if you've got questions.
We haven't heard anything from Rainwood Square folks, right?
No, haven't got any plans or anything from them yet.
Yeah.
Been busy doing other things, so I haven't trust them.
Just curious.
And the outfall sewer is still under construction. I'm wondering if they're waiting for that to be a little further along before they get digging into too far. But we have all the paperwork and everything done, right, Jeff? The subdivision agreement is all done.
That's all done. Plats,
Plat's sitting on the table. I think we're waiting for a fee. Maybe the parking.
Yes, we are waiting for fees.
we did rezoning at your special meeting, and I was called by the attorney a couple weeks ago. Pressing some, they're getting interest. Good
Yeah.
interest.
It's good. Okay. The public comments is the proper time for public comments on any topic or matter which is not on the agenda. Come on up.
To you.
Go ahead and give us your name and address.
Grand, 1 Street. This is probably a subject you guys talked about for, but after the tragedy of the 11-year-old boy that got killed, scooter I think it was.
Yep.
And I think that's a lot of what's going on. But being on probably one of the steepest or the steepest hill in Bennington, just below the water tower. I've seen multiple times where there'll be like 3 young girls from Illinois on one scooter going down that and probably going 35 miles.
Yeah.
On motorized scooter. And I don't know. I know that there's been times when I come home up that street, up 158th Street, there's a cruiser sitting there. So I know that we've been aware of that. But can maybe get a little more information on what's going to take place there, because the main reason I wanted to come here is to find out what the procedure would be to try to get a speed bump up that street. And I think that would be very helpful.
Remind me which street is it?
558.
Or 58. Okay. Julie, you want to speak to the speed bump portion of it?
We can take a look, and see, looks like distance between blocks, distance between driveways, see if there's a location. Then I can bring that back to council and, see if that, it's not currently on the budget list, but I know it took us a little while. It took, a couple of years before we could do the one on 4th Street, which is in the same kind of neighborhood. But yeah, I can, next time I'm in that area, I'll look and see. Sometimes in those neighborhoods, it's hard to fit them in between driveways.
Yeah.
Everybody, and so that's usually sometimes the hardest. But yeah, we can look and see if that's possible. If not, we can look and see if there's some other speed slowing mechanisms we can deploy as well. Sometimes just as bad as it says, having a bunch of cars parked on the street is your best way to slow people down, because it knows that.
So they're on motorized, or are they just on normal scooters?
I believe it's motorized.
I was gonna say, a normal scooter, if they can get 35, they're really.
I'm guessing.
I'm on 159, so I know how steep our hills are.
Okay.
Yeah, and you can get going fast on those, even non-motorized. So, we can take a look at that.
A lot of times we see them going down the sidewalk. I walk a dog pretty much every day with some friends. And sometimes these guys will come up behind you. You got a dog that say to your right or to your left. And that. It's like, and I know it's a concern for a lot of folks, because I walk out at the lake sometime out here, Nelson Landing, and I've seen Douglas County Sheriff's motorcycle out there writing citations. I think they take parents. You got kids that are way too young. You're not, golf carts and stuff around there.
Yeah.
It's a scary situation.
Yeah, and Chief can speak to it too, but they're definitely keeping an eye out for the underage drivers on the golf carts and as well as the motorcycles. Scooters, those are legal, so it's a little harder to deal with those. But
yeah, there's 2 or 3 like small motorcycles moving around all the place. I think I don't remember how many weeks ago it was, a while back, but I was coming north on 156th Street. Got over the bridge, and there was like 4 cars parked, or 4 cars sitting at the red light.
Mm-hmm.
The guy that was behind me went around me and the other 4 cars that ran the red light. There was 3
we got 3 kids on, I don't know, I can't remember, I think one was on a bicycle. And they were getting ready to cross, and they stopped just quickly enough. So we're just waiting for something to happen.
Yeah.
I know, I believe these guys are doing everything they can do to get vehicles.
Yeah.
The other thing I'd like to bring up
Sure. Yep.
is, we have kind of a situation, that I know you, my neighbor's probably been involved through that for several times. We've got a person who was catty corner across us on another street. If the backyard is like, I think there's some mowing being done now, but it's still not great.
Okay.
Kind of a bad situation. I don't really know what to say about what it's supposed to be doing, but
Yeah, we should have some ordinances that address that. You can give Mindy here the address, location of that, and we can look into it.
I'll get that.
I know who it is.
Yeah, I think it's been complained about
There you
2
go.
times.
Yes.
Okay.
And it's kind of a strange situation because I think we, well, not me, but my neighbor's right to office, I'll pay that for you, and I charge you anything. It's like, get off my property. So,
Got it.
MAPPA is doing a study on e-scooters and things like that that are kind of in the loopholes that aren't really addressed by state law. So that would be recommendations to the metro area so that all the communities can be on the same page with whatever may be suggested as something to adopt to address those e-scooters and those e-bikes that aren't regulated by state law.
What city just banned all of that? Is it Blair or Bill?
I thought I saw Bellevue too. So
They banned everything that's motorized.
Okay. Okay. Public comments is closed. Motion to adjourn. Stole your pen.